The University of Boya is in a tussle with natives of Bulu village in Boya subdivision, Fako division in the southwest region of Cameroon, over 87 hectares piece of land in regards to the recent destruction of crops and other valuables on the disputed piece of land few weeks ago. The Vice-Chancellor wrote a letter to the Minister of State Property, Surveys and Land Tenure. In the letter dated October 14, 2020, Professor Dorothy Limunganjoma accuses the Ministry of State Property, Surveys and Land Tenure for university land destroying farms of the students of the Faculty of Agriculture and Veterinary Medicine for the construction of the Faculty of Laws and Political Science. She said, "I believe that the destroyers have been encouraged in their actions by corrupt administration of FACO that misled you to sign the letter number 6280 MINCAF SG of 1st September 2020, addressed to the Vice-Chancellor to inform him that the SDO of FACO has requested to reduce land certificate number 0694 FACO and 02695 FACO to restore said both disputed parcels to the Bulu community. The University of Boya has promised to drag to court individuals trying to take lands that belong to the university. In a letter, Professor Ngomo Horace Manga, Vice-Chancellor of the University of Boya, he called on the student community to remain calm for the law to take its course, and that the university is ready to destroy any construction put in place on the disputed piece of land. Meanwhile, CPDM Senator Bella Moki Charles, speaking on Equinox TV during an interview on the University of Boya land crisis with Bulu village, he said the time has come for all sons and daughters of FACO to rise and put an end to all ill intentions of the FACO administrators. He added that he will meet the head of state, His Excellency President Paul Biya, if need be, and will table the matter before him. Away from that, we move to Kribi, where an accident happened this morning in Kribi after Senator Mbamba came to the market to enforce order after calling on some vendors to liberate some areas so that he can execute his plans to renovate the market. To his greatest dismay, when he arrived this morning in the market, none of the vendors had left as expected. Unable to control his anger, the senator came across a young woman selling ice cream and destroyed her ice cream making machines and some ice cream equipment. The lady, who in anger could not believe the incident after receiving a slap from the senator and the destruction of her market equipment, had to also give the senator a slap, which called for a riot. A witness recounts to us that the senator immediately called for gendarmerie to come and arrest the girl. But they couldn't live with her because the population had locked the senator in the market. The gendarmes had to leave the girl after a brief protest from the entire population. But some elderly people around where the incidents happened greatly criticized the behavior of the young woman, and that they don't expect that from a citizen of Cameroon, considering the fact that she is a woman and must teach the young generation the right way to go. Next, we move in precisely in Polo village in the central region, where a man of about 47 years of age, Felix Ngwele alias Liba, who killed his wife 6 years ago, is reported to have sexually abused his 9-year-old daughter, Micheline, and 7-year-old daughter, Cecile. A neighbor in the locality says the two teenage girls have not seen their mother for 6 years now. She went missing when she was pregnant, and as a neighbor in the locality observed that little Micheline has constantly been raped. The case was brought to the village chief, who referred them to the SARS Gendarmerie Brigade. The brigade commander started his investigations, and after some examinations confirmed that the teenage girl Micheline was regularly raped. Her father, Felix Ngwele, had no option. He then admitted and confessed that he has regularly raped his daughter for 2 years. He was arrested immediately. While the population thought it was over, the parents of the deceased Lema Dorothée, mother of little Cecile and Micheline, reopened the file of the disappearance of their daughter and carried all the suspicions on the father. To them, he murdered their daughter 6 years ago, whereby a complaint was filed for this purpose back then, but for lack of evidence, he was released. Serious pressure was put on Sayongwele Felix by the commander of the Gendarmerie Brigade of SAR, and after several days, he ended up confessing the murder of his pregnant wife 6 years ago in 2014, where he buried her in a pit that became a garbage dump behind the house. He is presently at the police custody awaiting judgment. Next, still in Cameroon, Cameroon's famous musician Raymond Dika, who resigned from CPDM party, was summoned by the police. He launched a series of claims last month against the CPDM party and its president, Paul Biya. Louis Ndombe Raymond Dika claimed that the CPDM party was owing him unpaid benefits of close to 96 million francs CFA, due to his over 16 years of service to the ruling party. His criticisms of the president prompted quick responses from regime supporters like Gregoire Owona, who said all what Raymond Dika was doing was to spread hate in the minds of the patriotic Cameroonian citizens. His ex-wife Chantal Aissi criticized Raymond Dika, saying he was hitting the finger that fed him. She called Raymond Dika an opportunist who feed off others' fortunes, stating that it was she who had brought Raymond Dika to Yaoundé and he should watch how he speaks. Next, we move to the northwest region, precisely Kumbu, where a group of Catholic Christians carried peace plans headed by the priest of Kumbu Diocese, Bishop George Koo, on a peaceful march calling on the return of peace and back to school in the Anglophone regions of Cameroon. They denounced shooting, killings, kidnappings, and all forms of insecurity in the community. The peaceful march began with a holy mass at the cathedral, where Bishop George Koo blessed Christians, calling on them to be agents of peace and reconciliation for the interest of the children and the entire community. We watched a video from the parish priest of Kumbu.
But to the entire Cameroonian community, one thing that the world needs at the moment is peace. And we are frightened by the amount of evil and the insecurity that goes around. So this is a celebration in which we have invited God to come down through the intercession of Our Lady Mother Mary. Peace should reign, particularly beginning with Kumbu, beginning in our hearts. And a very special call to those who are using weapons of war, that they should drop their weapons and we should build peace. That's a clear message. And we build peace by loving one another. Break down the barriers of hatred and love one another. That's how peace is going to come. If we don't have peace in our hearts, there is no way we can build peace in the world. That's an invitation. Every single one of us invited to open our heart to welcome the peace that comes from Christ.
Are you happy with the turnout? So massive?
I was surprised. Not only happy, I was very surprised. Knowing the situation in the surroundings in which we are living, I'm very surprised. And it's a sign that the people are hungry for peace. Definitely. Thank you.
One of the Christians recounts that Kumbu and Biu division as a whole in the northwest have not known peace despite a traditional cleansing of the land by some top security society. known as Mwerong. Last week, where custodians of tradition in Soland carried out cultural manifestations to stop insecurity and prepare the safe return of the paramount ruler who has been out of the palace for several months now. After the break, we move out of the country where the UN Secretary General demands an end to police brutality in Nigeria. We take on a break.